Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the Free Time series. We are still in Diablo. We're going to be going through just a plethora of greater rifts today. My character's gear has changed since the last video. Not really going to talk about that too much though. Today's video is going to be about YouTube and really what it's like to have a job on YouTube. And the pressures that a YouTuber may face that you maybe have not thought about before. I wanted to make a video about the idea of perspective or perception of what a person's life is like or the decisions they might be making when you don't know all of the factors that come into play. I thought that was a little... Oh, we got a teddy bear rift. Look at that. I thought that was a little bit too deep, though, so we're just going to talk about YouTube and probably stuff that the majority of you viewers never consider when you perhaps follow a YouTube personality and wonder why they make the decisions that they make. For instance, years and years ago, maybe actually a little bit over a year ago, my channel was dedicated to one franchise for the most part, and that was the Dark Souls franchise. I loved Dark Souls. I still do. Definitely one of my favorite games, the original. I wasn't too crazy about 2. I didn't hate 2. I didn't love 2. But I've spent, 500, 600 hours, something like that, in Dark Souls 1, and I don't regret a second of that. And I shared a lot of my experiences with that, or of that, rather, with my viewers here on YouTube. When I got into the alpha for Heroes of the Storm, I believe it was April 2014, and at that point, a lot of people started to notice the transition from me predominantly being a Let's Player in various games, but with a focus on Dark Souls. They saw me change from that into essentially a Heroes of the Storm personality, almost exclusively. Well, with little things thrown in here and there. I did play Bloodborne for a while. And I have touched on other titles. For instance, we are playing Diablo right now, obviously, and this is where I'm choosing to kind of take a stand on my soapbox, just because I feel as though the people who want to see a variety of content from me would watch this particular video. But why was that paradigm shifted? Why did that change happen? Well, first of all, it's not because I didn't like Dark Souls anymore. It's not because I felt betrayed by my community. Like, people have come up with the most ridiculous theories over time. First of all, I'm not sponsored by Blizzard in any way. A lot of people seem to think that now. Quite simply, I was a big fan of League of Legends. Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours invested into League of Legends. I used to make League of Legends videos here on this channel, and eventually I fell out of love with that game, and there was a void in my life that needed to be filled, and that was filled with Heroes. And I realized that not only am I, decent at the game, but I have a set of skills that allow me to set myself apart in a lot of various ways as a Heroes personality here on YouTube for Heroes of the Storm. So that was a big reason that shift happened. And over the course of time, over about the last year and a half, we'll say, year and a third, there has been a monumental focus on Heroes of the Storm on my channel. And again, it's not because I don't enjoy other games. It is because, quite simply, you are rewarded for that on YouTube. There's this basically feature on YouTube which tries to increase engagement. This is a formula that's being implemented by YouTube, by Google. And the idea is that if you, as a viewer, watch a certain type of video, for instance, if you looked up, let's just pick a miscellaneous topic. If you looked up horse vomiting or gigantic horse pimples, which I have gone through some deep, dark holes on the internet of watching cysts being popped on horses on drunken nights with my friends. If you go down that rabbit hole and spend, a decent amount of time looking at various videos of really any particular topic, you will notice that on the What to Watch page on YouTube, all of a sudden, you are greeted with more videos that are relevant to that topic that you just went down the YouTube rabbit hole on. This is YouTube's way of trying to get you to spend more time on their website, increasing your view duration on the website. So obviously advertisers watch more YouTube, and or advertisers pay more because you're watching more YouTube. It's a way for the website to make more money. It's a way for you to theoretically find more content that you're interested in. And for the most part, generally speaking, as a consumer of YouTube, it's a pretty good system. So for instance, let's say that you like my Heroes of the Storm content, and you decide, I would like to watch a lot of Heroes of the Storm. And you stumble across my channel, and you watch 2, maybe 3 videos. Let's just say on average, that's an hour and a half of your life that you have spent on my channel. YouTube will decide that, hey, this viewer, this user, probably really likes Heroes of the Storm content. And now in your what to watch curation of videos, I will start to show up more predominantly. So this incentivizes channels that specialize on particular topics. For instance, Diablo 3 channels that exclusively cover Diablo 3 will get more viewers that like Diablo 3 just by specializing in that topic, which is how I basically became the number 1, viewed Heroes of the Storm channel on YouTube. It was because I spent time while the game was in its early infancy. I mean, there are obviously multiple factors that came into play here. I spent time when the game was in its infancy, establishing myself, and then once the game was released and a lot of eyeballs were on the channel, I obviously was in a very good spot. My channel has grown leaps and bounds over the past year because of my determination to cover Heroes of the Storm. Now, a lot of this advice came from various locations, co-workers. I do work for TGN, which is a network here on YouTube, so I had a lot of people looking out for me and trying to help guide me as I was starting to gain a bit of a following. Now, this kind of leads into the downside of the YouTube curation system. So, as a viewer who likes Heroes of the Storm, you watch my Heroes of the Storm videos. Fantastic. So let's say that I release, for instance, a Diablo video that you may or may not be watching right now. And as a Heroes of the Storm viewer, which again is predominantly what my channel is focused upon, let's say you don't want to watch Diablo, just quite simply because you're not interested in it, and you decide not to watch this video. YouTube has an algorithm that says, well, he sent this video out to his subscribers, and this particular subscriber didn't watch it. So maybe this particular subscriber is losing interest in the MFPallytime channel. Jester just joined my game. This is a little awkward. Recording and talking to myself a lot. So let's say that you are a particular viewer who just maybe doesn't click on some of my Heroes of the Storm titles for a certain amount of time. A good example I can give of this was I used to watch a lot of Strength Camp with Elliot Hulse. It's a YouTube channel just about powerlifting and fitness, and now he's moving into the bodybuilding side of things. He stopped. It was one of my favorite YouTube channels, by the way. Very motivational guy. He stopped producing content for quite some time. Several months. So, pretty much because I wasn't watching any of his content for a certain amount of time, YouTube decided that I wasn't interested in his channel anymore. Quite simply because he was not releasing content. The same thing happens if you actively choose not to watch all of someone's content. So let's say I did a week where I was like dedicated to showing off Diablo. Like let's say a patch came out and I was enthralled by this patch and played nothing but Diablo. And you weren't interested in Diablo and didn't click on the video. That week where I dedicated all of my time to one game potentially could affect my channel to the point that when I do release a Heroes of the Storm video again, that you do not see that in your what to watch box on YouTube. Quite simply because the content that I've been releasing lately has not been centered around the game that you historically have interest in. which makes it really, really weird to diversify content on YouTube. People have had theories again that I'm sponsored by Blizzard and I'm being paid out of their pocket, and quite simply, that's just not true. I have been focusing on Heroes because, number one, I'm passionate about the game, and number two, because it's yielded a significant amount of results for me, both in my YouTube career and, you know, financially. I do still enjoy other games, as I am playing Diablo, but I have to be very, very aware of how much content I'm releasing for other titles. Excuse me, that was a very awkward burp. Because if I sway the pendulum too much in one way, too much in one direction, all of a sudden, I may lose viewers just for the sheer... Not because they aren't interested in my Heroes of the Storm content, but because I haven't been releasing it on a schedule that keeps up with what the YouTube algorithm deems necessary. This is why you have channels like, we could use Jesse Cox for instance, because he is a Heroes of the Storm personality. We have channels like Jesse Cox who have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of subscribers, but when he posts a Heroes of the Storm video, it only gets as much views as one of mine does. That's not because his audience necessarily isn't interested in that content. It may just be because it's no longer being sent out to his subscribers in a way that's meaningful because of the what to watch system. So that is essentially the reason I have not been playing other games. I've been trying to focus on what I enjoy, what I feel like sharing, which has been Diablo and which has been Heroes of the Storm. I know a lot of people don't seem to understand that, and over the past few months they have been getting very choosy with their words with me because they think I've sold out and abandoned my previous mentalities on, you know, YouTube and the game industry, which is not true. I am fully intending on releasing a new series very soon, but it does come with a risk, and I'm very much aware of that risk. Subscriber burn is a very real thing on YouTube, and I'm hoping that by branching out now, it does not turn into something that I'm going to regret. So I hope this video was insightful. I'm just going to keep running through this rift. I know this had almost no relevance to Diablo whatsoever, but I still hope that you found it interesting. A lot of people have given out criticisms in the past, and I don't really feel as though they have the full picture. Holy shit, I just got owned. But there you go. That's why. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back soon with more Diablo content, some more Heroes of the Storm content, and the secret Let's Play that I'm not going to tell you about yet. So until next time, I'll see you when I see you.